We've all heard of bulking, and I'm pretty sure by now most of you understand what it is. And I'm also sure we've all seen people go on crazy bulks and get way too fat. In fact, that was me just a year ago when I took the bulk way too far, and honestly I'm still recovering to this day. But that's why I made this video. If you're thinking about bulking up and putting on a ton of muscle, watch the whole video. Because I'm going to tell you guys some tips that I learned from my own experience to make sure that you don't mess up just like I did. That way you can finally get big without hating your physique the entire time. And the first thing that you can do to have a successful bulk is not dirty bulk. A lot of people are going to tell you to hop on the seafood diet, seafood and eat it. But that might be doing more harm than good. It's true that bulking means you need to eat more calories than your body burns, but eating a crazy amount isn't going to equal crazy gains. Your body can only use so much of the calories to build you new muscle, and the excess is just going to be stored as fat. So if there's a lot of excess, you'll have a lot of fat. I messed up here because I was eating pretty much whatever I wanted, and whilst I built a heap of muscle, I put on way too much fat. What I'd recommend is keeping your calorie surplus between 200 and 500 calories daily, which will have you building muscle at a moderate rate and limiting how much fat you will store. And try keeping the majority of your foods you're eating pretty clean. I'd say about 80% clean whole foods, and obviously high in protein. This will make sure you're not cooking your health in the process. And the next one, in my opinion, is very important, and that's tracking your foods on the bulk. Like I said before, you need to be in a surplus of around 200 to 500 calories. And the best way to make sure that this happens is to track. When I wasn't tracking, some days I'd be eating way too little, and some days I'd be 1,000 calories over maintenance. And my progress was all over the place. Having that peace of mind that you're on track to your goals is essential, and tracking also allows you to know how much protein you're getting, which is important when your goal is to build muscle. The best way to track is to buy a cheap scale and download a tracker app. I use MyFitnessPal, but they're all pretty much the same. Just don't put too much faith in those AI ones. They can be pretty dodgy. Weigh out all your food and put it in the app, and it won't be long before you get the hang of it. And the next one's kind of a two-in-one. And the thing that could ruin your bulk pretty quickly is committing to it for way too long or nowhere near long enough. Whether it's stopping because you're starting to look fluffy or you're not seeing the gains you expected, you need to not give up. Now, there's definitely a point where it becomes bulking for too long, but doing it for only a month or two isn't going to get the job done. At least 6 months in a clean bulk is what I'd recommend, especially if you haven't put on a ton of muscle already. Gains do not happen overnight, and you need to spend a good amount of time training hard in a calorie surplus to see the results. Stay consistent with it and spend this time focusing on lifting heavier each week or two, and your muscles will start to grow. A lot of people, including myself at one point, just seesaw between cutting and bulking and end up getting the benefits of neither. So keep these tips in mind when you're planning your next bulk and give it your absolute best. Building muscle can take a long time, especially if you're making really simple mistakes. So hopefully this video helps. And if you're planning on cutting instead, check out my video on screen right now about that. And that's pretty much it. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.